Hello and welcome to What's Map for Cities Skylines, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. There are thousands of items on the workshop now, so finding the right one for your next city build is a huge task. So each day, Monday to Saturday, we'll review some using our 5-star rating and the coveted seal of approval. So join me, fellow Skylines explorers, as we venture out to today's new land. Who am I? I'm BonBonB, and you are very, very welcome.
Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to What's Map, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. BonBon here, how you doing? Right, it's Wednesday, which means we can go back to the front pages of the workshop and have a look for something that jumps out at being just a little bit better than everything else. This one fulfills that specific requirement. It looks very much like something that Owl had created, and there's a very good reason for that. We are using Owl's theme and Owl's LUT. So we have an Owl imposter, but that's okay, there's nothing wrong with using existing themes and LUTs. Let's just hope that the standards are right up there alongside what the master himself would produce. So today's map is San Andreas Bay by Archelon. And you can see we've got something that's very much like the coast of California, and that's pretty much what it's supposed to look like. There's your start square. We've got the road just entering and the rail just to the south of it. I'm sure that's not the south, obviously, probably the west. There's your resources, just a bit of field painting, so not one for the vanilla player. And then After Dark is required, but I think most of you probably got that already. There's a whole bunch of little things to subscribe to. Shrubs and grasses and trees. Not a huge amount. Not a huge amount. And I've got to say that they're all very, very nice assets indeed. And probably worth having a look anyway. Right, so let's have a look at the map itself. First of all, the roads. And the roads look pretty fine, don't they? Look at this. We've got a little bit of elevation here, which a lesser map maker would have just gone with the terrain. That's very nice. And we're going around the side of what looks like farmland. We'll have a proper look at the terraforming and the terrain detailing a little bit later. But even here you can see that the roads are flat and smooth, which means that there's some very basic tidy terraforming going on to keep these roads looking this good, and that for me is a blessing. And we've got a little bridge going over here, absolutely perfectly done there. Nothing clever, no little arch, no little humpback, doesn't need to be. It's just a nice little straightforward simple concrete bridge. Right, so these roads are kind of, let's say, look at the colours. The theme and LUT from Owl himself. I mean, I miss the guy. I miss the guy. Another perfect bridge there. Just stretched out far enough to get over the riverbanks and back down to ground level. And that brings us up to the start square. Now, this intersection is just beautiful. Just beautiful. Goes off at a jaunty little angle as well, which I appreciate. The exit ramp, look at this, nice and smooth, nice slow, smooth, gentle elevation, and just about the right height to get over the other smooth ramp there as well. We have got a little bit of street light clipping there. Now admittedly it's not in the road, but it has come all the way through, and I think it looks a little bit daft, so I'm gonna have to mark it down on that one. But other than that, I think that's pretty good. Nice intersection work. The detailing, the trees, the choice of the trees, the colours of the trees as well. There's your start square. Plenty of build space, do you like that? I think I like that as well. Very nice. So yeah, the detailing's good. Good choices of trees. Good choice of intersection. Just one minor bit of clipping. Other than that, perfectly nice. And we'll follow off into the valley. Now, lots of trees in the valley. And like I say, the tree placement on this map is very nice because trees tend to accrue where the water will accrue, which is in the valley. So it's a little bit greener. We'll get a better look of that a little bit later on when we pull back away from the roads and the rail, which is what we'll do now. Now the rail, we've got some trees very close to the rail. We'll have a look. Admittedly, we're off in the fog here, so we could probably ignore it. But that's not bad. That tree just touching the wires, but to be fair, any train coming through there would soon, with the weight of motion, clip those leaves off and keep those trees at bay. It's only when a tree is more fully immersed into where thicker branches start getting involved that I would start to worry. Something like maybe this one. This is probably, oh, that would probably be too much. You'd have to get the engineers out to clip that back. But so yeah, that's a little bit of tree clipping, but not so much. And then we've got one of those rare things, actually a tunnel in a map, which once again shows that this Archelon knows how to use mods. And well done you. Not only that, the placement of those that tunnel is nice and flat and smooth, in and out. Very happy with that indeed. Nice work. Now there isn't much in it. We've only got the one highway running across the map, and this is the only rail connection. So there's not a huge wealth of network connections on this map. But what there is of a very high standard. Down here, all set for our station. Very tidy. I like that a lot. So it's time for our asset review. And I do know that you like your asset review. Now this one I have done a little bit of detailing on because I just had a few minutes to spare and I felt that it was worth it. These are Stupid Condos by Honka. There are 4 of them, Stupid Condos 1, 2, 3 and 4 from left to right as you're looking at them now. And we'll go around the back. I'll put one on the back there. And everything beyond the buildings is all BonBon detailing. Those cars are props. And the decals for the parking and the wall going around the outside. Even the tree, all plopped. Only the buildings are part of this asset, but they are quite fun. And from the comments I've seen, they're quite realistic too. I've not seen anything quite like it myself, but I applaud anybody who puts realism into their builds. So, Stupid Condos by Honka, one of those repeat asset creators, and I can't get enough of their work. Thanks a lot, and can't wait to see your next asset, Mr. Honka. Right, which means it's time for the theme and LUT. We're still looking at Yakutorian Tropic by Kanya with Starberg LUT, and we're still looking at slightly sexy Factoids. I've only got 2 more in this slightly sexy theme. Cover your ears if you're under 18. According to a survey, the second most popular reason for having sex is to produce a baby. And I'm gonna let you fill in the blank as to what's number 1. Oh, brilliant. Anyway, before mating, earthworms produce a special mucus to glue themselves together. I didn't even know that earthworms mated. I thought they were, as we covered a couple of days ago, they just split themselves in half. But apparently they mate and they glue themselves together. According to this factoid, what do I know? I'm just BonBon. I'm just little old BonBon. Well, I've got 2 shipping routes here. One that comes out here and around the island, which I think is only really useful if you're going to put docks on those islands there, because we've got another one that runs parallel closer to the coast. And I think maybe this one, the second one, is possibly a little bit obsolete, possibly, maybe not. Water flow, we've got a couple of rivers, and they are flowing rivers. They are actually built on hills, which means we have water physics actually taking the water down and out. There's a limited amount of water coming down each one of those rivers, so you might possibly want to draw from the wider part or even from the sea itself. What we need some nice salination plants actually. That would be good. Anyway, what we got is there's water movement in the sea itself. You can see the slight shadings there where it's slightly shallower, and I would be a little bit concerned about ships coming this close to a sandbank, and that's just a little thing, a little detailing issue. I'd like to see the water a little bit deeper, or more proper shipping routes built in with the sandbanks, around them and through them, sort of thing. While we go in the way of hills, this theme is beautiful for hills, and like I say, the trees are built into these crevices where the water would flow. So you can see the water would run down there into these little valleys. That's where the trees like it, not on the higher points, and it's very nice detailing work. I would like to have seen a little bit more foliage. I know we're talking California. I know it's like dry, dusty, deserty type land in places. But I still would have liked to have seen a little bit more greenery. Now, one thing I do like, see these fields, okay, instead of having proper hedgerows around the outside, it's kind of like implied. These trees, they're kind of implying hedgerows, but they're not actually hedgerows. I really like this. Really like the way it's been done. Occasionally you'll see it done this way, and the further away you go, the more like hedgerows you go. The closer you come in, the more it just looks natural, and just, you know, it's kind of evolved that way. I like it. I really do like it. Something else I really like quite a lot. So we've got the prop line tool being used for putting down these crops, and these trees. I think these are the orange trees. You pull right in, you can just about see the oranges there. Lovely, lovely little assets there. But yes, so they're nice little orange trees. But yeah, see the straight lines that way? If we spin that way, there's straight lines that way as well. I mean, that is alignment. That is really clever work. And same over here, if we look at it from one direction, and we spin it a little bit, and slightly out on that one there. So maybe it's a poor example, that one. But I've seen, try this one over here. So yes, look at this, perfect alignment that way, and almost perfect alignment that way. That is that's attention to detail at the top level. It's so rare. In fact, I've never seen it done to that degree of OCD before. That's going to get a lot of you worried about your own field builds now. You're going to be rebuilding your own fields, trying to get them to that standard. And we've got a little bit of rock detailing under the water there. And now, so the riverbanks here, once again, there's a lot of water down here. I'd like to have seen a little bit more greenery down by the river. Not necessarily river reeds or anything like that, but it just seems no different from the rest of the map, and I appreciate that this might actually be realistic, but I'd like to see, certainly in some places, if not the whole of the way, like down here, maybe not down here, because we've got the steeper banks, and maybe the dusty dirt is just like for a bit water glitching there, can't be helped. The dusty banks, and sort of like, I can just see it sort of like slipping away into the river. But certainly where it was slightly flatter, I'd like to see a little bit more greenery. And yeah. Anyways, let's head up into the mountains. Now this is really dry and almost bleak. And in some ways I like it, and in other ways I feel that Archelon has decided, oh, I've done enough now. I've done enough. I can't think of what to do up here. So anyway, now if we head down to the sea, we've got a little bit of shrubbery detailing down by the ocean. I mean, these are just lovely little plants as well, and they make for a good vista. I like that, and we could probably settle there at the end of the show for a nice little thumbnail shot. We've got the jetty, the abandoned jetty there. It's fairly standard. It's quite a nice asset. I wish there were more like it to be able to call upon. Anyway, we've got the abandoned lighthouse, the essential lighthouse. Ooh, essential lighthouse. Is it essential? Arguably. I mean, we've got islands. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we'll give it. We'll allow that one to pass. Now we head down and have a look at another beach. Like I say, Al's theme and LUT allow for this beautiful kind of like Instagram feel to the filter. Very nice. Very dirty, nice look. Sepia look even. And then we've got another one of these essential lighthouses with the abandoned bungalow alongside. Of course, where am I going to live if I can't have an abandoned bungalow? And another abandoned jetty. Well, it's not overkill. It's nicely done. Can't grumble much. Down here we've got one more island. Nice and long and thin. And you can get in there and do something with this. Perhaps have this for your refuse. You know, chuck your waste out on one of these islands. Stick it across on the trawler. Love it. Aesthetically, it's a good looking map, isn't it? You've got to admit, it is a good looking map. It's not right up at the top level with the best of Al's work, but Archelon has done a very nice job with the theme and LUT, and I'm going to give it 4 stars. For detailing is not bad at all. There's nothing wrong with it, actually. It just feels that there could have been a little bit more done in certain places, and for that I think we'll give the 4th star. But it doesn't quite get the 5th. Gameplay potential, do you know what? It could benefit from an extra highway connection. It could benefit from an extra rail line possibly, and better shipping routes. I don't know. I want to give it a 4th star, but I think it's a generically good map. I'll give it 3 stars. San Andreas Bay by Archelon, and that is today's map of the day. Well, thanks for watching, commenting, liking and subscribing. Don't forget you can join me tomorrow for another What Map in the What Map series. But better than that, tomorrow's What Map has got news on last week's Throwback Thursday map. Something quite incredible happened and I am absolutely bemused. So you want to be there for that. And of course you can get ready for Skylines Talk Monday next week. We've got the biggest guest I have ever had. So that's it. Have a great day and I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching.